Morning, YouTube. Well, as you see, the shower pan pieces have all gotten here. It's two pieces, the one whole big pan at the bottom, bent up at the corners, and then this inner piece that slopes from a ½ inch down to nothing, and then up, so that I've got space here for a I'm going to put a pallet in, so it's a level surface, because after all, the bus is still going to be wheelchair accessible. I've got some tabs that I'm going to pop rivet onto the sides to bolt it down to the floor. And so right now I got a lot of soldering to do. Solder around the edges. What I did was to close the gap up. I took a couple small pieces of angle iron, some of my big clamps, pulled these sides together so it's just a small crack here. I'll do the same along the side here, although it's pretty good. I'm going to solder all the way around, and then I'm going to follow that up, just in case there's any little pinholes or anything like that, I'm going to follow that up with some metal to metal caulk. So let me get going on this, and we'll start soldering it up. What about galvanized? Do this outside because it does give off some fumes. So, all right, let me put you guys in a time lapse because you don't want to watch this in real time. All right. Okay. All right. So, thing I noticed right off is the heat on this end was warping it. So what I did was I went around, I pop riveted the four corners in the center. Hopefully that'll keep the warping to the minimum. I also noticed that the solder, because this is a slope, hey, go surprise, it was running away from the joint. So what I did was I tilted it to encourage the solder to run down along this edge, and then as I go, I'll just change the orientation so it tilts in the direction I need it to go, and hopefully that'll work. I'm learning this as I go along, folks. Never did a whole lot of big sheet metal work other than replacing a fender on a 57 Chevy step van, and that was just a simple curve. So off to the time lapse, and wish me luck. Okay, so it's sort of done. It's obviously I'm not a sheet metal guy, but I am going to be putting the pallet over the top of this. So this basically just got to shed water down to the drain wherever I place it. So I'm gonna let this cool off and then come back out and clean it up a little bit, then caulk it, and hopefully it'll be good. Because this is a solid pan underneath, if this does leak around the edges, which I doubt, it's not going to go anywhere. So, all right. See you when I come back and start cleaning this up. Getting stuff off of it. Okay, so the pan's sealed up. Next I got to make the pallet that's going to sit in it to make it a flat surface with the rest of the floor. Pan's 1.5 inches, the floor is up 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut a lot of cypress, and I'm going to rip it 1/2 inch thick, and we'll space them out. And then I got 1/2 inch thick going the other direction, so that, and I got small brass screws, so they won't corrode or rot, to hook it all together. And then we'll go from there. So let's get started. This is going to take a while. Okay, that was fun. Okay, got all the pieces cut up, and these will be underneath, these will be on top. That what I've got to do is I can't, because of the bevel, I can't just lay them out on the bottom and do it. So what I'm going to do is attach these along the edge and down the middle. So these brass screws are going to be sticking up, you know, heads up on these three. Then I'm going to flip it over and get the pan out of the way, flip it over, and then attach them all from the back side. So the only place the screws are going to show down on the outside edges and down the middle. Can't be helped. I mean, I might just do a couple on either side and leave the actual center alone. Which probably makes more sense. Got 200 screws to start with. We'll see how far that goes. I have a feeling I'm going to need more. Now, I plan on pre-drilling all these because I don't want to crack this. But I don't want to go all the way through either, so I got to be careful and try not to lose any screws. So I got 3/4 inch screws. These are 1/2 inch, so should be good. I got a 1/2 inch space between each of these with all these little pieces of scrap, and I'm going to do the same on the other. So I'm going to put a little tape on this to give me a depth gauge, and then I'll get going on this and see how far I get before it gets too cool or too dark, which it's approaching. So, all right. Hey, why not another time lapse? Can't have too many.